name is Michaela Chandler, and this video today is going to be on the root chakra. I've wanted to do a series on the chakras for quite a while now, and I actually did a few videos a few weeks ago just about the chakras in general. Just an overview of all of the chakras, and as well as a meditation, a guided meditation to help open the chakras. I thought I would go a little bit more in depth about the chakras. It's something that I'm passionate about. I am actually currently taking a class about the chakras, so some of the information is from the class, some of it is from my own personal experience with the chakras and with balancing my own chakras. The reason I am so passionate about it is because when I realized that my chakras were out of balance, I got a book and I balanced them, basically. And so for me it was a path to a greater sense of self and a greater sense of confidence and self-love. So I'm hoping that this will help others find themselves and find how to love themselves a little bit better. So I thought I would start with the root chakra. Chakra is the Sanskrit word for wheel or vortex. The chakras are part of the psycho-spiritual body, meaning they're not part of our physical body, but they are part of the aura, basically. And when you see colors in someone's aura, most of the time, the dominant color in the aura is connected to the chakra. If the aura is clear and beautiful, it means the chakras are in alignment and functioning the way they should. The flow of chi is not blocked. The flow of prana or life force is not blocked. So, but if there seems to be some blockage there, then there's been some abuse. The person has experienced some terrible things that have been said or done to them to block that particular chakra. So the first chakra I'm going to discuss is the root chakra. The first chakra. It is located at the base of the spine. It deals with survival and is blocked by fear. It's at the base of the spine. It is red. It's called Muladhara in Sanskrit. The Muladhara chakra channels energy from the earth to the higher centers, all the other chakras. It helps to ground our spiritual energies on the material plane. It helps us manifest our creativity into the physical form. So if you are an artist who has all these wonderful ideas and you stay up late at night and you're like, oh my gosh, that would be a great book, that would be a great song, that would be a great poem, that would be a great picture, I'd love to do that, but I can't seem to get it out. That's because you have a bit of a block in the root chakra. The more grounded we are, the better chance we have of manifesting our dreams and actually seeing them come true. When we lose connection to Mother Earth and to our root chakra, we lose ourselves. We become less able to care for and nourish ourselves and to provide physical comforts for ourselves. So the root chakra basically deals with everything from, all of our survival issues, from the basics, such as a home, food on the table, clothes to wear, things like that, money coming in, and it also has to deal with the more sophisticated lifestyle that we would like to live, what kind of home we'd like to live in, what kind of clothes we'd like to wear. All of these things are connected to the root chakra. From a healthy base within us, we can connect with our feelings, our body, and relate to others. Grounding, according to Alexander Lowen, is the process of getting out of our heads and into our bodies. When we lose our grounding, when we lose our base, not the heart chakra, I'm not talking about the heart chakra quite yet, that's a few videos away. When the root chakra becomes blocked or under or overactive, everything becomes a struggle. especially when it's underactive. Because when you have an imbalance in the chakras, it can either be overactive or underactive. And I'll get into how to determine which one it is a little later in the video. So when we lose our grounding, everything becomes a struggle. We become less able to deal with the basics of life. We become less able to deal with just even feeding ourselves, basically. In order to get back to that place, we have to reconnect with our inner being, with our emotional body, with everything about ourselves, our inner being, and bring awareness back to our bodies by grounding ourselves and grounding the spirit. From a grounded space, we are able to make good, wise decisions about life, realistic decisions based on our highest good and greatest joy. We know what would make us happy, and we are able to determine how to get there, or rather to trust that the universe will show us a path of how to get there. Because a lot of the time we're like, I don't know how to get there. I know what I want, but I haven't the foggiest idea how to get there. So that also has to do with a block in the root chakra. We let go, when our root chakra is balanced, we let go of our attachment to life being a certain way. And become more able to go with the flow and make the changes that we need to. Conscious breathing and movement breaks us out of the rigid stance or fixed attitude. It releases terror, fear, shame, guilt, or other emotions that are in the way of becoming truly grounded. Now, one of the symptoms of having an overactive root chakra is aggression. So, or becoming stubborn, or having a rigid stance about something. It has to be this way. That is just it. Nope. That's just it. A resistance to change is also a symptom of an overactive root chakra. An underactive root chakra is kind of the opposite a little bit. You have a fear of change. You're not quite as, you are resistant to it, but you are a little bit more timid about it. You're very timid about life. You're afraid to make a decision. You're scared of, making changes because you fear that you won't survive. That has to do with the root chakra. The dysfunctional archetype, and I mentioned this in my other video, the dysfunctional archetype of the root chakra, according to Jung, is the victim. The victim feels that he or she is at the mercy of others, has absolutely no control over his or her life. Something happened to me. I had absolutely no control over it. I couldn't do anything about it. I am totally at the mercy of others. All choice appears to have been taken away from the victim. The victim feels like they do not have a choice. Their fate is out of their control. A state of fear, terror, or desperation accompanies this archetype. This archetype breaks the connection between the ground of our being and our spirit. It is very paralyzing on our psyche and on our body. We cannot move in this state of sheer terror. We must ground these feelings and reconnect with simplicity and the goodness of life in order to survive and thrive. Stay in the moment and trust in life to avoid falling into the victim archetype. Circumstances combine to create the victim archetype. We're not born with this archetype. I believe that we are born truly perfect. I believe that we are born knowing certain things, knowing that we are deserving of love, deserving of everything good and beautiful in this world. when we are born, I believe that we come from a place of pure, unconditional, divine love. And when we are born, we still feel that place. We know that place. But as we grow up, we are separated from that place by circumstances. The circumstances that combine to create the victim archetype is anything that makes you feel out of control. Anything that makes you feel like your survival is threatened. Like you have absolutely no control over your circumstance. Divorce, bankruptcy, illness, death, prison. All those things are big things that could help create the victim archetype. Because in each of those circumstances, things are out of your control and you don't know whether you're going to survive or not. If our chi, our prana, or life force, is strong, and we have never felt powerless, if we've never felt these feelings of fear, desperation, and basically powerlessness, then we will be able to meet all of life's challenges and be able to overcome them. But this is not always the case. You don't have to experience something big such as these things to experience the victim archetype. It could be something small. Just things people say to you over time that could create the victim archetype. Any situation where we have felt powerless helps to develop the block in the root chakra. This is why I am so against spanking kids, because that is a situation that kids are totally out of control of, and it can have disastrous repercussions on the emotional body. A way to avoid developing the victim archetype is to stop and just experience what you are feeling. Just ask yourself at that moment, at every moment, how do I feel? How does this emotion feel to me physically? So, you know, if I were in a situation where I felt physically out of control, where I actually felt my survival was threatened, and it doesn't have to be something big. It doesn't have to be like, you know, I'm in a bank robbery or something like that. It can be something small, something where I feel totally out of control. How does that make me feel physically? Well, for example, it could make me feel, it could be a tightness in my chest. It could be a tension in my legs, as if I want to run away. Those are just a few of the physical sensations that come with an emotion. So when you start to feel like you want to run away, or you start to feel like, just stop and actually feel that emotion. Actually ask yourself, how do I feel at this moment? How does this emotion feel to me in my body physically? Now, the thing about the victim archetype is that those who feel like victims will automatically draw that situation into their lives, draw situations into their lives where they are forced to feel like victims. Well, not forced, but it is because that archetype is begging to be integrated. Our higher selves want us to be whole. They want us to, our higher selves, our God, Goddess, whatever you believe, wants us to be happy and to integrate all parts of us so that we can fully enjoy life. So we automatically draw these situations to ourselves. Our higher selves draw these situations to us so that we can integrate those feelings of powerlessness and become whole again. When you find a situation where you feel powerless, stand up for yourself. You are not powerless. No matter what you believe, you are in control of your life. You are not powerless. The victim archetype must regain a sense of having choices and know that he or she is not at the mercy of others. When faced with a situation where you feel like a victim, just be honest with yourself. Yeah, I feel like a victim right now, but I'm not. I feel like a victim. Right now, I am a victim. And allow your emotions space. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to tell yourself what you should feel. I feel like a victim. One way to break out of this cycle is to start examining your attitudes about happiness, respect, health, beauty, fitness and aging, love, money, friendship, and success. Another way you can start to release these feelings is to move around more. Be gentle and do something you love. Don't push it to the point where you'll hurt yourself, but just start moving around a little bit more. Maybe if it's just, taking a walk in nature. Honor your body and your emotions. The emotional body is just as important as the physical body. The functional archetype, according to Jung, is the mother archetype. The mother archetype represents our ability to nourish and to look after ourselves with care, sensitivity, and vigilance. The mother helps us integrate the feminine aspects of ourselves so that we can love more fully. Not just others, but ourselves as well, and life in general. I mean, that's one of the things, a lot of people are looking for unconditional love. But they don't unconditionally love themselves. You are worthy of unconditional love. Give yourself the unconditional love you deserve. As you develop the mother archetype, you become better able to look after yourself. Even if it's just, being able to cook yourself a meal. You're taking care of yourself, showing yourself enough care to actually take the time to make yourself something to eat. I'm guilty of this. I don't do that. I don't do that a lot. The more we integrate this aspect of ourselves, the better able we become to make decisions that are good for us and differentiate, and we become better able to differentiate between what is good for us and what is not. The mother archetype is deeply rooted in earth energy. One function of the mother archetype is to be aware of what is needed to keep balance and harmony in our lives. To see that we are nourished, well cared for, and loved. To develop the mother archetype, take care of your needs. Become your own mother, eat well, take care of your physical needs, and that includes everything. That includes, I believe it's more important to get the emotional body in order before you start, actually doing things, because you can do things and still feel, and doing these things might make you feel worse. So, understand what you need and be able to give it to yourself. Ask yourself, what are your feelings about nurturing, taking care of yourself, preparing your own food, cleaning your own home, looking after things, providing for your emotional needs, however that may be. I'll tell you what that means to me. That means actually giving myself space to sit down and acknowledge, I'm not feeling so good right now. I want to cry. And I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. And I'm not going to tell myself that I can't cry. And I'm not going to tell myself that my emotions aren't worth it. That my emotions are silly or stupid, because they're not. Giving yourself rest and relaxation. Examine your views about asking for help. That's another thing I had a problem with. I couldn't ask for help. I didn't like it. Accepting care and love offered by others graciously without dependency. being able to separate yourself from highly dependent relationships that drain you. Here are some signs to determine if your root chakra is balanced. If your root chakra is balanced, you will feel safe and secure in your world. Daily tasks will seem effortless. You will not have any doubts as to who you are and your place in this world. Signs of an overactive root chakra include anger, irritability, annoyance, and aggression. Greediness, controlling others, and becoming belligerent towards those who challenge your authority is another sign of an overactive root chakra. You may become dependent on other things and other people for your sense of security, even becoming dependent on habits and routines. Change will become very, very difficult. You may notice yourself becoming impulsive and materialistic and base your sense of self-worth on possessing those things. An overactive sex drive is another sign of an overactive root chakra. The signs of an underactive root chakra include a feeling of being disconnected from the world around you, feeling disorganized, lack of focus and discipline, even becoming afraid, anxious, or restless in your daily interactions, lack of stamina, depression, and a lack of desire or drive to pursue what you want out of life. You may have trouble establishing boundaries and financial security. Physical symptoms of an imbalance include weight loss or gain, over or under sex drive, poor immune system, anemia, depression, laziness, and irritable bowel syndrome. So basically anything that has to do with that particular area of the body. According to Eastern legend, a serpent goddess named Kundalini has 3 segments of her body coiled around the root chakra. She will launch herself upwards through the chakras in an endless movement of energy and movement. Kundalini is bound by a psychic knot called Brahma Granthi, which is only undone by releasing attachment to physical or material security. Now, that's not to say if you are in an abusive relationship, you should release your desire to be physically safe, because that's not what that's about. You get out of that situation. One hint that the root chakra is unbalanced is a feeling of being out of place. Any situation that makes a person uncomfortable is an invitation to start looking into the root chakra. A balanced root chakra gives a feeling of security in the places and situations you feel you deserve. A feeling of being stuck or detached is another sign of an unbalanced root chakra. You can become stubborn, inflexible, distrustful of changes when the root chakra is unbalanced. You may have difficulty initiating or maintaining relationships. You feel insecure and indecisive. You can't seem to find safety, and your life seems to lack structure. The root chakra physically governs the immune system, the skeleton, and the lower digestive tract. Lower back pain, leg or foot disorders, obesity, digestive disorders, cramps, constipation, and hemorrhoids are also signs, could be physical signs of a block in the root chakra. There are certain crystals and gemstones that could be used to balance the root chakra, and they include garnet, which helps negate feelings of insecurity and depression, hematite, which provides stress resistance and protection, and smoky quartz, which reduces emotional blockage and promotes focus. Some color and sound therapy to help open the root chakra includes the color red. Surrounding yourself with a dark red or auburn if you feel too detached would be a good idea, or a lighter red if you feel too grounded. For sound, deep percussion such as drums and vibrant bass music, anything that can vibrate the floor, basically, is a good way to balance the root chakra. Actions, sports, and movements that can help activate and balance the root chakra include walking, traveling, aggressive and physical sports such as wrestling, boxing, fencing, martial arts, football, rugby, and heavy labor such as chopping wood, digging, planting, and construction can also help to balance the root chakra. Ways that you can change your diet to help balance the root chakra include eating more root vegetables such as potatoes, carrots, yams, parsnips, and turnips, or eating more seeds, nuts, and veggie proteins. Now, I've also heard for those meat eaters out there that eating meat can also balance the root chakra. I'm not a meat eater, but that's just, I'm going to throw that out there. If you are a yogi like I am, there are certain poses that can also balance the root chakra. Utkatasana, which is chair pose, Adho Mukha Svanasana, which is downward facing dog, and Vrikshasana, which is the tree pose. I do those on a regular basis, evidently. For meditation, you can chant Hum Mi Hum Brahm Hum. We are we and we are all, is what the translation is. You can also use the Prithvi, or Earth Mudra, which is this one right here. That's Prithvi. Middle fingers to the thumbs. And when doing a mudra, if you want to draw something to you, as you inhale, you squeeze the fingers together just a little bit more. And then as you exhale, release. So as you inhale, you squeeze them closer together. Exhale, release. If you want to make something go away from you, it would be the opposite. So as you inhale, you would release it. And as you exhale, am I getting that right? Well, it would be reversed, basically. So that is a little bit about the root chakra. So the next video is going to be the guided shamanic meditation that I wrote a little while ago to help balance the root chakra. So I hope you have a wonderful afternoon or day or whatever it is where you are. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.